Welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition here on Series Gaming. Having talked with Cassandra and Liliana and not being unable to actually talk with Vivienne for a moment until I do the Snowy White quest, I'm going to go do the other stuff around here, maybe find that Snowy White heart.
The funniest thing I've seen in years. That cat dancing around, hopping and pouncing like a fool.
Sarah has a quest.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted.
Orlesian nobles see politics as a great competition.
Yes, but none of them ever win.
I'll talk to you later.
Probably.
Extremely likely, Cole.
She's a rogue and a thief, and she'll tempt your fate.
We were set to lose how many? And the charges blew through and
Why
saved
change the past when you can own the state?
One for the Empress, for Gaspard, Briala, the Duchess, and Corypheus, right in the dangle bag.
All right, you're clearly annoyed. What can I do?
You're doing fine. It's the dead piled up in Halam Sharal that's nagging at me. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right, so long as there's a butt for the throne? And a total arse, too. I thought Gaspard was tired of that game, but he settled in real easy. Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
I don't know. Want to stop a party, I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things, with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an empress. That, and Briala being an idiot, the whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
It's over with Gaspard in charge.
Right, because that was all the plan and not dumb luck. Dumb luck named you. Watch out, yeah. The hole in the sky didn't start their war. Stupid people did that. Still going to be plenty of those after Corypheus is dead. Hey you, I have an Inquisitor favor to ask. Just a little thing, really. A little march around for some of your people. It's nothing for you, right?
All right, let's hear what you've got.
Jump right in, huh? I like that. It's a Red Jenny thing. I got a tip that some noble stiffs are arguing over Verschel. Land squabble. They're getting little people beat up, so I need you to go to your big table and send some people to walk through town.
Just walk through?
Just walk through. Easy, right?
Was this a tip from one of your friends?
Not a Jenny. Just normal angry people getting sick of being in the middle. I don't usually hear about things this far away. But having a friend like you is like getting really big ears. Bigger ears, I guess. Shut up.
Who is asking for this?
I'm asking, because I heard people complaining. See, when nobles fight, it's not them, it's their little people stuck in the middle. It's like a polite war, so no one pays attention. But if you march through, the people up top feel threatened too. Stuff like this is always happening. Good sovereigns to be made if you're one of the few who notice.
What does the Inquisition get out of this?
Nobles think everyone is out to get them. So when your helmets march through, both sides will think the other's your ally. Both get scared, both make deals. Worst case, you get a little bump among the people just because they see you active. Can't promise anything, but something will happen. Just like always.
All right, Sarah. I'll have someone look into it.
It's fun, right? Being important without doing a thing. Well, not much of a thing. Not everything has to be torn skies and ancient arseholes. Every little thing makes a difference somewhere. Sitting and waiting. Great, yeah?
It's true what she said about Gaspard. It was dumb luck.
Oh, my
Maker, you cannot imagine how many letters I've received about the fracas at Halam Shiral. Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut, although it is yet bewildering at the center.
There are problems coming out of Halam Shiral?
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor. Nothing? Unfortunate.
What do you need?
Strangest thing. When I reached down, my dagger was gone. Just gone. Know where I found it? In a barrel. The thing was filled to the brim with daggers. Got the strangest feeling. I know someone took it right off my belt, but I can't recall who.
Gloat all you like. I have this one. Are you sassing me, Commander? I didn't know you had it in you. Why do I even... Inquisitor. Leaving, are you? Does this mean I win?
Please don't stop on my account.
All right. Your move. You need to come to terms with my inevitable victory. You'll feel much better.
Really? Because I just won, and I feel fine.
Don't get smug. There will be no living with you.
I should return to my duties as well. Unless you would care for a game.
Prepare the board, Commander.
As a child, I played this with my sister. She would get this stuck-up grin whenever she won, which was all the time. My brother and I practiced together for weeks. Oh, the look on her face the day I finally won. And between serving the Templars and the Inquisition, I haven't seen them in years. I wonder if she still plays.
You have siblings?
2 sisters and a brother.
Where are they now?
They moved to South Reach after the Blight. I do not write to them as often as I should. Ah, it's my turn.
All right, let's see what you've got.
This may be the longest we've gone without discussing the Inquisition, or related matters. To be honest, I appreciate the distraction.
You can't be serious all the time. Well, maybe you can.
I believe this one is yours. Well played. I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, but the indifference to it all.
I didn't care for it myself.
I shouldn't be surprised. The Chantry can be the same. Their politics are less extravagant, but just as heated. Gaspard rules a country. The Divine influences half a continent.
Is there anything I should know?
Sarah brought me a piece of cake. She thought I looked hungry.
Why are you telling me this?
Because it was either an act of kindness or a trap. I was hoping you knew which.
That's all for now.
Should you require anything, I'll be here.
I guess it was an act of kindness.
many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
I think I already have. If I'm quite honest on the subject. I want to go talk with Cole and then I'm going to Crestwood.
Your worship.
A space to watch, respect, and fear.
Wait. I wonder where Fen is.
Empress of fire in the reign of the lion, eclipsed in the eye.
Inquisitor, it was amazing. Sorry, slow down. Your quartermaster outfitted me, and I got trained to hunt the bandits near my home, in your name. I hired Voth here. Don't tell anyone, he's a mage. A good one, though. Thank you for trusting me, your worship. I'll pay you back, I swear.
Good work. Keep with the training. We'll need every hand.
Yes. Yes, your worship. We'll do just that. Won't we, Voth? He doesn't speak, but he's thankful too.
It was too fortified. We were ready to walk away, then up comes the Charger saying it's taken care of.
What do you mean?
She's still behind the curtains in the reading room, watching the blood pool on the floor.
So Cole, someone found a barrel full of misplaced daggers. Was that you?
They were safer there.
Let's talk about something else.
All right.
I wonder how many people could fit in this fortress. Judging by its size, probably thousands. We do have hundreds at the moment.
What's the chance?
That's the lot.
I never paid attention.
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flat. Nope. I've got a minute if you need something.
What are your thoughts on the Inquisition?
If there's anybody out there who hasn't joined the Inquisition, they're hiding under a rock. Did you want to take over for Eldon? I think we might be able to conquer it just by looking east.
What do you think of Liliana's work?
She scares me. Mostly in a good way. At least I'm reasonably sure she's on our side.
Good to know.
What can I do for you, Inquisitor?
I want to...
I'll tell you what I can.
I've seen it infect people like a disease and turn them to lyrium. How can it do that?
That's a good question. To tell the truth, we don't really know what that shit can do to a person. And I don't want to find out.
What could the Templars want with it?
In Kirkwall, just having the lyrium idol made Knight Commander Meredith impossibly strong. Before it turned her into a lyrium statue, anyway. Maybe they thought the power was worth it, or maybe they didn't know the consequences.
You know, I think I maybe should go to the Exalted Plains, get that heart of a Snowy Wyvern.
All right.
Some issues with the map. My left click isn't working. Alright, maybe this will work this time around. I'm gonna head to the Exalted Plains. Seems like a good idea.
Inquisitor. Let us begin.
Oh, I forgot to actually open the Exalted Plains up. I'll open both Crestwood and the Exalted Plains. The reason I use Sarah instead of Eric is that, well, obviously I had the one rogue in my party, and she is a better choice than Varric. It really comes down to A, their ability, their skill sets, and B, their weapons. Bianca, although seemingly powerful, is actually worse than a lot of the bows you can actually get in the game. Pretty sure Bianca right now is worse than the bow I have on Sarah, for instance.
Inquisitor, welcome to the Exalted Plains, a place with a long and bloody history. Even now, the region is volatile. This was a front in the Civil War. Now there's rebels called the Freemen of the Dales, recently emerged and adding to the chaos.
This is where the elves made their last stand, isn't it?
Ah, you've studied the Dales. Yes. When offered a chance to lay down their arms and surrender, they refused.
This rebel group. Tell me more about them.
They seem to be simple deserters, tired of fighting and dying for either the Empress or the Grand Duke. Now they want the Dales for their own. Worse, they're more organized than we anticipated. Be wary.
What else can you tell me?
Scouts have sighted Dalish elves. There must be a clan camped somewhere on the plains.
That will be all. Thank you.
With the rifts and the undead, the Orlesians have lost ground. Most have been driven back to their forts. We have to stabilize the region, allowing the Imperial Army to re-establish its presence. Good luck, Your Worship. You'll need it.
Word for you.
I don't have time.
Yes, sir.
This will not be easy or fast.
Keep off the ramparts. I wonder why.
I'll rush for it. I'm not gonna spend my time clearing out this place. Not right now, at the very least. I don't want to deal with other stuff. And that said, I can claim that. You know, the items there. Alright. I'm not sure how easy it will be to deal with that bloody wyvern, but I imagine I can.
We could send men to... Yeah, that-
Yes, we could, and we will. Defeating a bloody Snowy Wyvern, though. Now that will be a challenge.
Worship? We could make camp here.
Sure.
Inquisitor, if you have a moment.
I don't give a fuck. This is arguably the best looking area in the game, and I am not exaggerating on that point.
Ugh, that smell.
I'm overwhelmed.
1,000 cuts. You know, Sarah might actually be better as a damn melee rogue. I don't know. Can you make her one? I mean, her flask certainly would indicate to me perhaps that she would be better in melee than range. Guess it depends on what you want. But consider the idea that she's got flasks to improve speed. Her attack is a melee attack. And, well, looking at... Yeah, you could make her a melee rogue if you so desire. Though she's clearly intended to be an archer. At least story-wise. Gameplay-wise? Well, looking at the flasks, it's kind of hard not to make the argument for a melee rogue. Wrong one. I always get confused with this one. The Inquisition rises.
What can I do for you, my dear? Is it too much to hope that you've brought me the heart of the Snowy Wyvern?
If you want the Wyvern's heart, you'll tell me what you're using it for.
I can do better, darling. Give me the heart, and I'll show you what it's for. Will that suffice?
All right. 1 heart, as requested.
How kind of you. Please accept this as your payment. I must begin work immediately. You have been a dear friend, and I would like you to come with me. This should only take a moment, Inquisitor. I'm here, my darling.
Vivienne,
Yes, darling.
it's going to be all right, my love.
My darling? Bastian?
Vivienne, I'm sorry.
There's nothing here now.
She tried to save his life, and she failed.
Inquisitor. Bastien is dead. I can hardly believe. It was the Wintersend Ball. My first visit to the Imperial Palace. The Circle sent a dozen of us to entertain the nobility. I was in awe of everyone and everything, and then our eyes met. Bastien spent the entire ball at my side. The Dowager tried to have him killed for slighting her, but he didn't care.
Falling in love across a crowded ballroom. Sounds like something out of a children's story.
He was a dashing rogue, and any defects he might have had were made up for with rank and importance. It was a more innocent time, I suppose. And now he's gone, and I must write to his son Laurent. And his sister will make a terrible fuss if she isn't informed first. And I'll need to arrange for the chantry services. Maker only knows how long that will take.
If I can help you, just say the word.
No, my dear. I'll handle everything. Excuse me, I have so much to do. I always have time for you, my dear.
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
Why don't you tell me more about your Duke?
Bastien was the leader of the Council of Heralds. The only person who could bring that rabble into line. He could charm a bird out of its feathers, and frequently did. I remember once, he broke up a fight between Prosper de Montfort and the Dowager with a joke and a glass of wine. Oh, Bastien. I'm sorry, my dear. I don't think I can discuss this. Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
You know, I did all of that in the hopes that I'd get conversation with her about the divine. Seems not. Crest with it is then. The Heart of Snow White. Well, maybe I need to get back there to Skyhold. I do hope to trigger Dorian's quest, but for that I suppose I need to talk to Mother Giselle. Which I will do right now.
Inquisitor.
My creator, judge me whole.
You know, I actually haven't spoken to... Wait, where is
Tell
she?
me I have sung to your approval. Though you had granted them power over the...
All men are the work of our Maker's hands.
Inquisitor,
from the
you
lowest
have
slaves
finally
to the
come
highest
into your
kings.
own.
Those
The
who
Maker
bring
has
harm
put you
without
on a
provocation
difficult path.
to the least of
I
his
pray you
children
walk it safe.
are hated and accursed by
I
the
remember our talk out there before we found Skyhold. It wasn't just the Maker who put me on this path, was it?
The Inquisitor could never have been Cassandra, or Leliana, or me for that matter. We are too political, too tied to the Chantry and all its failings. But I did not make you stand against Corypheus. I did not make you risk death to save the people of Haven. Only you could be the Inquisitor. I only pray the power of the Inquisition is enough.
I'll do my best to earn this.
You earned this in Haven. The Maker has chosen you to deliver us from Corypheus. You have the faith and support of everyone here. Never forget that. Now, was there anything else?
Can you tell me anything about Corypheus?
I know nothing of the man personally, but the Chant of Light speaks of what he claims to be. No matter their power, their triumphs, the mage lords of Tevinter were men and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered within their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power to time like the beasts of the fields? You are the lords of the earth. Go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods."
That was one of the old gods speaking in their dreams?
Yes, Dumat as I understand it. In secret, they worked magic upon magic. All their power and all their vanity they turned against the veil, until at last it gave way.
That sounds like what happened with the breach.
Very similar, Inquisitor. Above them, a river of light. Before them, the throne of heaven waiting. Beneath their feet, the footprints of the Maker, and all around them echoed a vast silence. But when they took a single step toward the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth.
Corypheus said he found only chaos and corruption.
The Chant of Light says that it was beautiful until the Maker himself spoke. And so is the Golden City blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world.
Corypheus seemed so certain that he heard nothing. He described it as dead whispers.
Bitterness, perhaps? He paid a high price for his crime. Violently were they cast down, for no mortal may walk bodily in the realm of dreams, bearing the mark of their crime.
Walking bodily in the realm of dreams is exactly what Corypheus said he did. But the mark... could it be related to the mark I bear?
I cannot say. Perhaps Andraste saw clearly and we misinterpreted her words. It was always taught that the mark they bore was the shape of darkspawn. Bodies so maimed and distorted that none should see them and know them for men. That is all I know of your adversary, Inquisitor.
Thank you for taking the time to share that with me, revered mother.
All faithful should recite the Chant of Light once a week. It would speak ill of me to fall behind. Take what the chant says, but do not be bound by it. A century from now, your own story may be another verse. And who knows how much truth it will hold. Still, I would trust these words over any spoken by Corypheus. I hope they help you.
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter. Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just.
You're the Inquisitor. You're very tall. Mother didn't say you were a Canary.
Oh? I'm told it's the first thing one notices about me.
I noticed your blood. It doesn't belong to your people.
Kieran, are you bothering the Inquisitor?
Of course not. Did you see what's on his hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way. To most in the Imperial Court, he's simply a quiet and well-spoken lad, perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
I have raised Kieran on my own for quite some time now, as was my preference from the start. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
He seems like a fine young man.
But not the sort one might expect a woman like me to raise. No son of mine would be raised in a marsh, bereft of contact with the outside world. His future will be difficult enough without my adding to his burden. To think, until recently this place stood decrepit, occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tarar Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
I appreciate whatever help you can give us.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may.
That is indeed a frightening possibility.
Wandering the gardens, I see.
Now that you've seen the Inquisition up close, what are your impressions?
'Tis remarkable what you have built. I will give you that. Soldiers are camped outside Skyhold in numbers that would give any nation pause. All this in precious little time, conjured from thin air through the power of fervor alone. I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
Whatever happens, the Inquisition will survive.
That alone is worthy of wonder. A new player on the stage, a figure of might and marvel. Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done, many will be eager to knock you back down.
They can try. They'll fail.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah, yes. Whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kokari wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight?
The Blight began in the Kokari wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. He is the reason the Blight was defeated. We became close. Closer than I even thought possible. When I left, he pursued me. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane, and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor, and she my benefactor and source of refuge. The moment Celine perished, my time in court was done. I do not miss it overmuch.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some Chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
Tell me more about your son.
He is a very special young man.
Special in what way?
In every way. At first, Kieran was a means to an end. But as he grew, I never thought of myself as a mother Inquisitor. I had no good example to follow. I find myself becoming something I can barely recognize.
I leave you to the garden.
Of course. My Lord Inquisitor.
What work have you been doing to help us?
Currently, my efforts are focused on determining what Corypheus is, and from where his power comes. The elven orb he carries is what draws my attention. I wonder if the power he used to tear open the Fade, in fact, came from the orb. Perhaps it is even the source of your anchor. If I learn of its origin, I may also learn what Corypheus now intends, as well as his weaknesses.
I could use your company for my excursions outside Skyhold.
I have spent my share of time wandering the wilderness in the company of others, Inquisitor. Thank you for the invitation, but for now I will restrict my efforts to researching the arcane.
Do you know anything about his dragon?
It has the appearance of an archdemon. Of that, I am certain. A true archdemon, however, is supposedly the corrupted form of an old god. Has Corypheus actually dug up one of the ancient prisons? If so, why has a new blight not begun? His dragon is something else, something connected to his blighted nature as well as his magic. Beyond that, I cannot say.
Is it even possible that Corypheus could succeed?
The Black City exists. Wherever one goes in the Fade, it is visible in the sky. The last time Corypheus and his cohort stormed its doors, they unleashed the Blight upon the world. This time, perhaps he might indeed gain untold power, becoming something unto a god. It is also possible he could unleash something far worse than the Blights. So yes, Corypheus could succeed in his goal. If not, his attempt alone could destroy the world.
Corypheus says I'm a rival. Does that mean...
Could you become a god? That depends. Are you prepared to use your anchor to enter the Black City?
I wouldn't know how, if that's even possible.
Perhaps Corypheus fears the moment when you learn.
We know so little about Corypheus.
Continue prodding at Corypheus, Inquisitor. Elicit a reaction, and we may yet learn from it.
I'd like to know more about you.
If you have questions, then ask.
I leave you to the guard.
Watch that tip, Morris.
Oh, I will. I certainly will. I think I should talk with Sarah.
I expected ruins.
They were. As you see, the Inquisition has not been idle.
Would it be possible to meet the Herald before we return to Ghislaine?
My dear Laurent, for you, anything. Allow me to present Inquisitor Adar.
Your worship, you do us great honor.
Inquisitor, this is my dear Bastien's sister, Grand Cleric Marceline, and his son, Duke Laurent of the Council of Heralds.
Madame de Fer has told us what great trials you faced, trying to save my poor brother's life.
The Maker called my father to his side. It was valiant of you to champion him in his final hours.
If only I'd been able to save Bastien.
The Circle of Magi told Bastien many years ago that his illness was incurable. It was simply his time.
Would you mind waiting for me in the chapel, my dears? The Inquisitor and I have business to discuss.
It has been our very great pleasure, Herald.
This has been quite the triumph, hasn't it? They just adore you.
So why exactly are they here?
They asked to see Skyhold. I could hardly refuse. Laurent is a dear, almost as pious as his aunt, and new to a seat of great power in the Empire. And Marceline is one of the strongest voices among the Grand Clerics. Now they will both come to us for advice. The Inquisition is truly a power now, and there's no telling how far its influence will reach. But enough of this talk. Here, I have something for you. I commissioned this ring from the Formari, the greatest enchanters in all Thedas, for you.
This is a generous gift. Thank you, Vivienne.
Once it was customary for the circles to craft enchantments for their staunchest friends and allies. And you have been both. I must go to see my guests now. Another time, darling. My dear, did you need me for something?
No, but there is a conversation I do want to have with you. So, Vivienne is playing her games, but that is an important Grand Cleric right there. Very important one, actually.
This might interest.
No, it does not interest me. All I gain is power. Power I can gain from rifts, and power I have some sufficient amounts at the moment anyway. I mean, actually, how much power do I have?
So mortals try to find the Maker, and that becomes Where does it come from? What was the Archdemon?
Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
Well, I suppose I do need to go to Crestwood, or trigger some other conversation.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
Although you have ended the battle in Olay, it will take the country some time to recover. Corypheus faces a decision. Accelerate his plan to gain power, or abandon his dream of conquering Olay for now. He will never abandon his dream.
We'll talk.
Interesting. Wait, maybe I can talk with Dorian. Trigger his conversation. There are conversations that do need triggering.
Here we are
again. Maybe I do need higher approval with him. It's not triggering for the moment. I mean, it should, and if it doesn't, I'll use a save game editor. There do exist some of them. They're not perfect, I might add. I think I'm just gonna go talk with Sarah.
Inquisitor?
No need to clear a space. They will all turn away.
I suppose you're right. Good day to you.
It's good to see you.
I hear Vashel was good pay for you, Inquisitor. Time to go see if my friends came through too. Got a location for a stash. Hopefully something nice for my trouble. Well, your trouble. Just let me know when you're ready to head out. Be sure to bring your empty pockets.
Who's putting up the reward for this?
Don't know. Sometimes it's pass the hat. Sometimes it's I lifted this from Master's vault. Doesn't matter, does it? Job done. Time to get what we're owed.
I'm not ready to go just yet.
Your choice, yeah? Only so long it'll stay hidden.
Alright, Costin here, Sanyat.